What's up, guys? This is Bumpkins, and today I'm here with the first of what I hope is many comic book pickup videos. I'd like to do a video like this every time I get some awesome comics. I'd also like to do some other videos of just general awesome pickups that I get every week. Not every week, but anytime I get something cool, comic related or not, I'd love to do some videos for those as well. But today I'm going to talk about a stack of books that I picked up today. I finished work around 5 o'clock today, and I just had a hankering to go to my local comic book store, Infinity Flux, here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I just felt like getting some comic books. Now, quick backstory. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, I've talked before about how I've read comics for over 30 years. I collected them hardcore in the 90s. I collected lots and lots of Spider-Man, quite a bit of X-Men, a lot of Image, a few DC here and there, but I collected a bunch of stuff in the 90s. And then after that, I kind of fell off. I even fell out of comics for a few years, got back on around 2006, and really started reading again around that period, especially when comics really started going digital, right around the 2010, 11, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe around that area. But for the last at least 10 years, I've been reading a ton of comics, but I've been reading them digitally. I just haven't wanted to buy comics. I haven't felt the urge to buy comics. I haven't even bought any trades here in a really long time. I've just been satisfied with having everything digital. I thought, well, I do have the room, I guess, but I just don't have the desire to collect all this stuff that I have to carry around with me every time I move, which I haven't done in 10 years, but I still have all of my comics from the 90s, and I've sort of remembered how much of a pain that was to haul those around every time I move or anything like that. So I haven't really partaken in the collecting aspect of this awesome hobby in a really long time, but recently I've kind of been bitten by the bug again. If you guys have watched some of the past several episodes of the Anything New podcast that I do with my buddies Pete and Opie. I've been talking about we talk about awesome pickups every week. I have shown some awesome omnibuses that I've gotten, and I've really kind of gotten into those, which has then kind of led me into, well, these are fun to get. Let's get some comics as well. So that's what today was. Today I just thought, you know what? I just want to go buy some comic books. And so I drove down to my comic book store. I got a nice stack of some older comics, some more recent comics, some brand new comics. I rifled through the dollar bins, found some cool stuff there, got some brand new stuff right off of the new release shelf, and I thought I'd go through them. So I'm going to start with Green Lantern number 5. This is from 1990, I believe, is when this series first started. This one doesn't have a board on it, but I'm going to rebag and board all of these. I picked this one up because my buddy Opie, if you heard us talk on the last episode of the Anything New podcast, I think it was episode 14, my buddy Opie went to a Peddler's Mall up where he lives in Kentucky, and there was a booth there that had probably 6 or 7 long boxes full of comics, all for $1 each, and he and I were on the phone for 2 hours one day as he rifled through every single one of them, told me what was in there, and I told him, yeah, pull that or forget that, and he actually pulled several Green Lanterns from this run. So I thought it might be fun to try to maybe not complete this whole thing, because this thing ran for a couple hundred issues. You get around issue 48 when Kyle Rayner came in, became the new Green Lantern. But I thought it might be fun to at least get maybe 1 through 50 when Hal Jordan goes crazy. So I started here with, so my friend Opie's got some for me, and I've got number 5 here. And then, so this was in the dollar bin. Also in the dollar bin was Green Lantern number 25. Pretty happy with that. I like the cover on this one. Green Lantern versus looks like a whole bunch of people. I'm not real sure. Also got Green Lantern number 38. So we're getting closer to that Hal Jordan going nuts, Kyle Rayner coming in, getting closer to that era. Number 38 there, and then Green Lantern number 44. So getting even closer to that run. I've got my eye on a couple of books on eBay to help fill this run even more. So slowly but surely filling up this run of Green Lantern. And I've never read these either, so it'll be fun to do those at some point. Also in the dollar bin was, just on a whim, X-Men versus Avengers #1. This is #1 of a 4-issue series. I thought this might be fun to read, just for no other reason. I just thought it might be fun to read. I've actually talked about it on Twitter before about how I feel like Marvel has forgotten that they have a slew of awesome villains to use in their stories. It seems like every big event they have is heroes versus heroes. We had Civil War, we had Avengers versus X-Men, we had the whole X-Men versus Inhumans, Civil War 2, Secret Empire, which kind of sort of was hero versus hero. And this is that as well, or it looks like. But again, I haven't read this, so I just thought this might be fun to get this one, maybe track down the other 3. So looking forward to reading that one. Also in the dollar bin, picked up Warlock and the Infinity Watch #1. I love the cover. I love this book. I've read the first several issues of it already. I don't own them. I read them digitally. But this took place right after the Infinity Gauntlet in the books. Basically, Adam Warlock and I'm glad they have the label because I forgot. Adam Warlock, Drax, Moondragon, Gamora, Pip the Troll. They were all charged each with protecting one of the Infinity Gems, and it was really, really cool. I liked it a lot. I would love to have a movie of that as well. So they had some more issues of this as well, but my stack was already getting pretty big, so I figured I'd start with issue #1 and go from there. So those are everything in the dollar bin, but those aren't the only dollar issues I got. So I picked up some of the True Believer, the Marvel Comics True Believer issues as well. So if you don't know, these are basically reprints of older comics, maybe first appearance of characters, maybe an important story that happens. Maybe it's something of the first appearance of a character that's coming into prominence in the current books, or a storyline that kind of relates back, something like that. I just love them because they're $1 and they're brand new, but reprinting old stories, but in a new presentation, new paper, and all that kind of stuff. So I got Amazing Spider-Man. This one is, you know what? I actually don't remember the issue. This is, hold on, stay with me. Amazing Spider-Man number 86. So if you follow me on _Comics Daily on Twitter, or _Comics Daily IG on Instagram, or if you watch my Comics Daily weekly videos, you know that I'm currently reading Amazing Spider-Man every week. It's going to be, we're only on issue 52, I think is the most recent one I read. So it's going to be another 3/4 of a year before I get to the real version of this. But this is the first appearance, air quotes, of Black Widow in her sort of black leotard outfit, her more modern costume, if you will. We've been talking about her on Comics Daily Weekly in the pages of Avengers in her still old, weird looking costume. So this is kind of her first look at her more modern look in this. So really cool to have. We've got Avengers. Oh, darn. I should have looked at all these. So we've got an old issue of Avengers here. Hold on. I should have looked at all the numbers of these. Avengers number 196. The first appearance of the Taskmaster, who is coming to prominence lately. He's going to be featured in the Black Widow movie whenever that comes out. So I just thought that would be cool to have for $1. Love to have his first appearance reprinted. I've never read it. Fantastic Four, I know this one. Fantastic Four number 52, the first appearance of Black Panther. I did already read this on Comics Daily. Talked about it on Comics Daily Weekly. This was a really fun issue. Basically, the Black Panther invites the Fantastic Four to Wakanda and kind of fights them, puts them through an obstacle course in the jungle as a way to test himself. So that was a pretty cool issue. So it's cool to have his first appearance reimprinted in a nice new glossy format. That was pretty neat. And hold on, I should know this one. So let me just double check. Okay, Thor number 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. I have read this one digitally as well, but it's going to be cool. And I have right over here, I know you can't really see it, but I have the Walt Simonson Thor run across 3 different trade paperbacks. But I thought it would be cool for $1. It's hard for me to not buy any comic that's $1, right? So I thought this would be cool to have in in just a nice new glossy print. And then I should know, hold on, let me just check the the number on this one as well. Avengers number 83, the first appearance of Valkyrie. Another True Believer issue. I've never read this one either. We will get to it probably in just a little under a year in real time over on Comics Daily. But it'll be cool. I'll probably go ahead and read it in this format as well. I don't know. I love these True Believers. $1, nice new presentation for classic stories. So I couldn't pass that one up. All right. So that is it for the old/dollar pile. I've got some more recent stuff and new stuff. I just kind of mixed them in together, and you'll see why. So in the 90s, I collected Spawn for a good while. I want to say that I have the first 50 issues or so, but I'm not 100% sure. It may not be that many. If you've seen, or you will see, some other videos that I'm putting out soon, where I actually go through my old comic collection, box by box. I've got between 10 and 12 long and short boxes. I remember some of what's in them, lots of Spider-Man, but I don't remember everything that's in them. One of the things I don't remember is how many original issues of Spawn do I have. So we're gonna find that out eventually. But recently, just seeing all the covers to the current issues of Spawn, they just look cool. I don't know what's going on with Spawn. I literally haven't read Spawn since the 90s. I have no idea what's going on. But the covers look cool, and they kind of made me want to get back into Spawn a little bit. So I picked up 3 Spawn issues. I picked up number 309. Cool Gunslinger Spawn cover. I think that is super awesome. I think McFarlane drew this one. It's got his signature on it. I might be wrong. That's how out of touch I am with these. Spawn number 310. I can't remember this Spawn's name, but I will learn it when I read the issue. And then I love this cover, Spawn number 311. I just love Gunslinger Spawn, Medieval Spawn, and regular Spawn. My comic store did have some of the variants, but a quick thing about me and collecting, I don't care about collecting for value's sake. I just like to buy what I think looks cool. And these were the coolest ones. They did have the Chadwick Boseman tribute covers, and I really wanted to get those, and I may go back and get them at some point. But I really just like to collect what I think looks good or what I think is interesting. I really don't care about value. I don't care about trying to collect all the keys, trying to get graded comics for the sole purpose of them being worth something. I enjoy comics more for having them because they tell great stories, for the great art, for the pure aspect of having them in my collection. I just don't care about value. So I like to get what I just think looks good. This was a complete impulse buy. Hellboy and the BPRD, the Seven Wives Club. I don't own any Hellboy comics at all. I think I've only read the first 6 issues of the original Hellboy, and that was way after they came out. This was a complete impulse that I saw this morning, I think on Previews World. And I thought, hey, you know what? That looks cool. I want to get that. So I went and got it. I love the cover, Adam Hughes. I did preview the first 3 pages or so in the Comixology app, and it looked fun. This is just a one-shot. I don't have to worry about trying to fill out a series. I just thought this would be fun. This was a complete impulse, and I can't wait to see if my impulse was right. So a couple not new, but fairly recent issues. I got the new Iron Man #1 by Christopher Cantwell, and Cafu is the artist. This is the Alex Ross cover. I actually do own this digitally and have already read it, and I really liked it. I actually missed all of Dan Slott's run on Iron Man because I'm close to 3 years behind on current Marvel Comics now. I will catch up eventually. But I got this digitally because I just thought the art was awesome, and I wanted to sort of see what was going on with Iron Man. So I bought it digitally, read it, loved it, but I just wanted to have it as a physical book. The cover's awesome. I think it's a wraparound cover. Yes, it is. So you kind of can't go wrong with an Alex Ross cover. And then I couldn't stop there, so I had to get Iron Man #2, Alex Ross cover as well. I do own this digitally as well. I haven't read it yet, so I'm excited to check that out. More awesome artwork by Cafu. I hope I'm saying that properly. And yeah, I just want to see what happens after the first issue, which I really enjoyed. Didn't want to stop there though. Iron Man #3 came out today, which was another reason for my journey to the comic book store. I'm really into this series and I want to keep reading it. So I haven't read issue 2, obviously haven't read issue 3 yet. So I think I'm going to actually reread issue #1. I'm going to read the actual book that I have here and read all 3 of them physically. My comic store didn't have the Alex Ross cover for #3, so I went with the variant instead. I don't love this cover. Like, it looks cool, but it doesn't match my other 2. So I'm still gonna keep my eye out for the Alex Ross cover, but at least I have the story, and that's what matters most. Sort of on a whim too, came out last week. I picked up U.S. Agent #1. I've always kind of liked U.S. Agent. I actually haven't read too many comics with him. He hasn't been around much in the last several years. I read, a lot. I did a lot of Force Works in the 90s for any kids out there who remember Force Works. I read a lot of Force Works and I really liked him. He's a lot more gruff, a lot less nice cap version of Captain America. And I just wanted to see what he's up to these days. So this is the regular cover. They did have the variants as well, but I love Marco Cicchetto's, I hope I'm saying that right as well. I love his art on when he did a run on Punisher. I know he's doing the current Daredevil run, which I haven't even started yet because, again, I'm behind on Marvel books and DC books and all books really. But I just thought this would be fun to pick up and see what's going on with U.S. Agent. Another one, brand new today, I believe, is Taskmaster #1. Again, I mentioned I got the True Believer issue with his first appearance reprinted. This is a new book. Again, he is kind of blowing up a little bit because of his appearance in the upcoming Black Widow movie. I didn't get it because I think it's going to be a key or anything. I've always thought Taskmaster was really cool, and he deserves more quote unquote screen time or page time because he's neat. I guess he's a villain, although he's been. I remember around 2010 or in the mid aughts, didn't he help with Avengers Academy training new heroes? But he can basically mimic the abilities of anybody he sees. How is that not awesome? So he's got a cool. I don't love the skeleton mask, but I love the white hood and the blue and the orange and the cape and all that stuff. So I just thought I'd see, what's up with Taskmaster. I think he's cool. And then last but not least, I picked up Punchline #1. Like I said, I am way behind on all of my books from the last 2 or 3 years onward. I haven't even read the City of Bane storyline yet in the Batman books. I do have those 2, City of Bane Part 1 and 2 digitally, but I would love to have them physical as well. So I haven't even read those yet, but I have seen a lot of the scuttlebutt about Punchline online and thought it would be cool to have this one shot of her origin. My comic shop, again, had a lot of the variants. A couple of them were $15, and you know what? I just didn't want to pay $15, for a variant. So I just thought, you know what? I just want the story. Again, I don't care about, having all these expensive variants, hoping they're going to blow up and maybe trying to sell them on eBay and scalp them or whatever. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I just want the story. And I want a good story. I want good art. I want to make it part of my collection, and that's it. So I did want to have this though for whenever I do catch up on Batman, and because I have a feeling I'm going to like this character, so I didn't want to pass this up. Like I said, I could have bought it digitally, but if I'm going to start maybe possibly getting into more physical books again, I just thought this would be a good one to have. So that's it. That is the stack. It was so much fun to go to my comic book store on a Wednesday like I used to back in my younger days and pick up a stack of books. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get a new stack of books every week. I don't even know, well, I do know what I would want to collect, but I'm so far behind on everything. I don't want to start a pull list or anything right now. I just want to get some books. And I just want to experience the fun of buying books. Like I said, I went into the store I didn't have a pull list or anything. I just had fun walking around, just kind of, looking at the shelves, saying, I wonder, what's new or what's recently come out. Oh, that looks fun. I'll get that. That looks cool. I'll get that. Digging through the dollar back issues. Oh, here's a few books that I'd like to have to fill in holes in my collection. It was just pure fun. Didn't worry about missing an issue or getting this key or getting that variant. I just purely looked around and thought, what would be fun to get? And I got them. So I probably will get another stack of books at some point. Not sure if it's going to be every week or every month or whatever. I do still like reading digitally, so we'll see how that goes. But like I said, I have been bitten by the bug a little bit, so we'll see if that grows or what happens with it. I have been enjoying getting my omnibuses, which my omnibus collection is growing fairly quickly. So that's been a lot of fun. I need to do some videos on that as well. But I just wanted to do a quick video on my pickups for this week. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like what you saw, maybe if you like the other videos as well on this channel, maybe hit subscribe, maybe like the video. If nothing else, leave me a comment. Tell me what books you picked up this week. Tell me your favorite thing about collecting. Do you like only trying to get the valuable stuff, the keys and the first appearances and all that stuff? Or would you rather just have books in your collection? What are you reading? What are you collecting? Do you read digital? Do you read physical? A mix? One? Neither? Whatever it is, I love talking about comics. I love talking about comics with other comic book fans. So I'd love to talk to you about it. So just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.